Well, Marv and Tim are back. It's about 7 minutes since we recorded our last video, and our client's running late. They just let us know. So we have something else that we wanted to chat about. Something that we've something else we've heard from clients a lot recently, or that you just see in this space. And it was underscored today. We just got an email. Someone just wondering about like short-term work with us, meeting with us once or twice to resolve their SP issues, or to like, provide like some kind of blueprint to help them resolve their SP issues. And what was the answer that we generally give when people say stuff like that? You answered it today, but our general answer, Marv, would say for when people are looking for the SP blueprint.
I would say that the SP blueprint, there is no blueprint. It's really, it's going to take you a lot longer than you think. People think that they're going to work with whatever coach. It doesn't matter who the coach is. They think I'm just going to work with them once or twice, and I'm going to get the results that I want. And quite frankly, in my opinion, from doing this since 2020, or no, before 2020, and studying this stuff for 10 years, or yeah, I would say roughly 10 years, maybe 11. It's just not going to work that way. Most people, I think they buy into the sensationalism that they see on YouTube. Obviously, you hear Tim and I talk about this all the time. But coaching is something that, at bare minimum, you're probably going to need to see somebody. I would say at bare minimum, at least once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, something like that. If you can't do once a week, you're going to need some sort. You're going to need to
Twice
do
a month at least.
twice a month. You know what I mean?
Especially when you start. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And when you
Yeah.
start, it's probably for a lot of people, you probably need even more than that. But obviously, we know that a lot of people probably aren't going to go for that option. But the bottom line is, so many people think they don't need the help, or they just need some sort of, I just need this person to tell me what to do and I'm going to be good. But the bottom line is most people, in my opinion, they need their hand held either a lot, or they need their hand held somewhat, especially in the first few months of learning about this stuff and doing it. But you can go ahead, Tim.
I'm nodding my head in complete agreement. It's really interesting how the marketing is, the soft marketing, as we like to call it, that makes people gullible enough to believe that they can take a $200 manifest your SP course, or a $1,000 for that matter, manifest your SP course, or my favorite, we were joking before we decided to record this, like a $200 like how to manifest money course, and then that's going to solve it. Like,
Right.
I was saying, I got some good oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you then. I mean, guys, think about it. These are like the big life topics that we have to face and work with and integrate through in our lives. And taking a course or getting a little bit, like a session or two of coaching with someone, is great. That helps. But most people who think they want coaching need a heck of a lot more than a session or two to start getting any clarity. And let me just give you an example, because I've been coached by quite a few good coaches over the years. My current coach, which is like, he works with, the word he uses basically like spiritual entrepreneurship, right? So like aligned, ethically aligned, spiritually aligned business practices, right? I started working with him like a year ago. And I would say it took 3 months of talking to him at least once a week, because we'd have weekly group calls and I would meet him individually twice a month. At least 3 months for stuff to start kicking in, and probably 6 months for some of the main ideas that he was hammering in from week one, guys, or from our initial call before I even signed up, for those ideas to really click. 6 months. And guess what? That's normal. That's pretty standard. We're seeing now with our SP Mastermind, people who have been with us since the beginning, about 3 months, the ideas are beginning to click for them. A lot of them have had some pretty cool stories, some cool manifestations during that time. But honestly, we're both excited to see where they're at 3 months from now. Because like usually it's like the 6 month mark where people start to like really start to feel profound shifts, which are then demonstrated, manifested in their external life. So like one-off coaching or give me the blueprint especially for relationships.
Right. There is no one-off blueprint for relationships.
And there's going to be this whole new field too eventually, maybe. I don't know if we'll want to be involved with it or not, of like, as we always say, you manifest your SP back, now you've got the effing relationship you got to deal with.
Right.
That's a whole other can of worms.
Whole nother.
Who very few people on YouTube are talking about that from a manifesting perspective. You know, when you see Marv and I talking about Joseph Murphy or Emmett Fox, like the golden rule type stuff of Neville, you know, Catherine Ponder, H.M. Lee Katie, people like that talking about love and relationships. It's kind of a taboo subject, you know? And then like, yeah, I don't,
It's funny because everybody's so concerned with getting somebody back. Like that's always like, I gotta manifest my SP back, or I gotta manifest a new SP. But like you said, Tim, nobody really talks about how the fuck do I manage that shit once they show up? Like how? And most people don't, they struggle with managing a relationship, which is why Tim and I always tell you, yeah, robotic affirming works until they leave again for the 10th time. Because you haven't really figured out how to manage. Like managing a relationship is totally different than attracting. You always hear that saying, like it's easy to attract somebody, but keeping them, staying committed to them, like Tim said, that's a whole nother can of worms. And it's something that's not talked about. But this blueprint of figuring out or thinking that, you know, oh, I just need to work with any coach once or twice and then my problems are going to be solved. Very rare, very rare.
yeah, and it's unfortunate that most coaches in the space, from what I've seen in the law of assumption space specifically, because other areas, other niches are not, coaches are not necessarily like this, but there is this kind of like quick money thing in the law of assumption space where like there are coaches who imply, oh, work with me once or twice, you know, I'll give you some affirmations or whatever, and that's going to be enough, you know, and then if you need more affirmations 3 months from now, hire me again. And that's like, again, band-aid over a bullet hole usually. Not that you won't get anything from that single session or those 2 sessions, but it's entirely different than integrating the ideas, which takes months and sometimes years. And, you know, there's people that work with coaches for years or therapists for years. You know, I've been with my therapist now for, 5 years, I guess. Or no, maybe only 4.5 years. But it's like, if you like working with someone, you usually want to work with them long term. Like you don't want to switch horses in midstream. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, you know, we get to see more of that in the law of assumption space as opposed to the grab the money and run routine that a lot of coaches seem to go by. I mean, it does kind of irritate me. I'm thinking of specific examples. I won't name names today, but like, you know, they've got their calendar, you locked in. Oh, I had a really great session with so-and-so, you know, and it's a one-time thing and people making it seem so fucking magical.
Yeah.
It's magical until you get your manifestation and you don't feel that different afterwards. And that's what Marv and I always say. You're not going to end up feeling that different just because you got the thing usually, unless you've done the inner work to go alongside it. You're only going to be able to pull unicorns out of your butt for so long.
It's very true.
This is a PSA type announcement. This is a perfect segue for our free seminar, October 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern, where Marv and I are going to be talking about the one obvious thing that you can do, like starting today, to change your relationships in all aspects of your life, not just romantic, but also social, work relationships. There's one overriding thing, that an obvious Adams type of thing that very few people in the community talk about consistently. Hint, hint, Marv and I do talk about it consistently. I made a car video about it last week. Most of you didn't watch it because it wasn't that sexy of a topic. It was just a true topic, an honest topic. That's what the seminar will cover. If you don't want sensationalistic advice and want advice that's, that you're going to have to actually apply and integrate, attend that seminar October 7th if you can at 5 p.m. Eastern. The link will be below for that. Anything else about the SP Blueprint? Where can I get my copy for $99 or $97, I should say? $9.97?
No, I would just say get rid of this idea. Most people have to get rid of this idea of they're only going to need to work with a coach once or twice, and they're going to see drastic results. That's, to me, that's, some people can get away with that, but not a lot. Most of us are going to need our hand held through this process on some level, whether it's once a week, whether it's once every 2 weeks. The bottom line is you're going to need your hand held most likely, and you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, you're going to go backwards, or you're going to feel like you're going backwards, even if you aren't going backwards, that type of stuff. So,
Right. And that's when you definitely need a coach, because that happens all the time, especially with SP stuff. They come, for instance, to us and say, I'm freaking out, it's not working. And we're like, dude, do that. It's literally part of the process. Do you see how much movement you've had in the last week or two? Like crazy movement. And oh, it's not working. If you're by yourself there, you might shoot yourself in the foot. A good coach helps you so you don't.
you realize that.
Yeah, realize that. Exactly.
Yeah.
We got to fly because our
Yeah.
person has come in. Our specific person has come in to speak to. But yeah, we will talk to everybody soon. We'll see you on that free seminar. Until next time, enjoy.